don't quite wagu MPP party. Wagu MPP party for the special. Wagu MPP party. If you say, Yanusa Kwakra will be a trust. Nana Kasa, your true for your true, the better now. So the okay, you know, a fan another, a mama who or bua. Your true no the better now. So now penny would you true Eddie when him. Who di when him a copim abang because who chant time now your friend say you go school you akra won kire ni won sa we wo say yantia won so a wo man kwala ni di wa che ni nkatin kwan after the bet for 5 years free busia wa gia 50 has santo please so who to be fast have so anya shi wa Ghana en kwala ko school so am break your part ti do kwa yan pade yeah break Oka cha kufado say onja say no ni na mwem oni ba heart no yampa ne bin yampa enye bin ti na eboto ma on simra fom oye penny baby awadu frito a ube wu ntem nanti fom ni nkwakwa wo mu eni anu no wa yampa obi anye oba ba no petrol ya he na petrol ya he anye 14 cities oka cha so ba obete so anye sa na oka cha penny a utwa ntro say ye print that thing upre na. What's the meaning of this? I ask some go school. School free. Oh my! School free. School free. Yasumanu. Who to be shout? Nyama usu kachenye. Who the level super swaya? What you level? Yeah. Don't fire ni abeku. Ya masoja nyeku. Soja to be nyeku. Don't fire abeku. Akufa don't quite wagu MPP party. Wagu MPP party for the special. Wagu MPP party. If you say, Yanusa Kwakra will be a trust. Nana Kasa, your true for your true, the better now. So the okay, you know, a fan another, a mama who or bua. Your true no the better now. So now penny would you true Eddie when him. Who di when him a copim abang because who chant time now your friend say you go school you akra won kire ni won sa we wo say yantia won so a wo man kwala ni di wa che ni nkatin kwan after the bet for 5 years free busia wa gia 50 has santo please so who to be fast have so anya shi wa Ghana en kwala ko school so am break your part ti do kwa yan pade yeah break Oka cha kufado say onja say no ni na mwem oni ba heart no yampa ne bin yampa enye bin ti na eboto ma on simra fom oye penny baby awadu frito a ube wu ntem nanti fom ni nkwakwa wo mu eni anu no wa yampa obi anye oba ba no petrol ya he na petrol ya he anye 14 cities oka cha so ba obete so anye sa na oka cha penny a utwa ntro say ye print that thing upre na. What's the meaning of this? I ask some go school. School free. Oh my! School free. School free. Yasumanu. Who to be shout? Nyama usu kachenye. Who the level super swaya? What you level? Yeah. Don't fire ni abeku. Ya masoja nyeku. Soja to be nyeku. Don't fire abeku.
Atiefo yada obade ase odifo pamaguni atena se enekwasi anwumiri awie bibia obiara no mede otiasefo nyankopon nchi abrewo ebetuma ba se oho ye awia ebetuma ba se oho ye anwumire ediba bia obiara no se ye awia mechia good afternoon anwumire amechia good evening anopa amechia good morning and saying and now we program me didn't to am the atos on say denti ana obadwen say nkwala ekasetia wompanimfo. What do you think that the youth will condemn or will criticize or insult their leaders? Denti na ye fee say Mranti anketwa ebeka sa tia mpanimfo den tina ye fi se mranti a memfa ne sa wo munyini because ya bakusemu no ana ya ntitiye mu no as a Ghanaians no it's difficult for you to see the young boy to insult to challenge or to criticize or to condemn their elderly. And so na den yehu. Den yehu ne den yehu. Obi aso kamera siso a no odi ne mpanimfo atam no okasa tia ne mpanimfo den ti me pesa wo de wadwene ba. Wo de wadwene ba ha den ti na ye besusu se embrante anketoa ana mbrante o motete abrochire ana mbrante a wotu kwan na wo kondem wo mpanimfo. Number 1, me nyin tumu se ana se memfoa so se akwala bi ebedidi ne panini atam. No. But it ye se opani wo feli se obeboa nkwala no. Se opani wo feli se eniema bi asese pani wo ye no wa anya nkwala no ombetietie wani. Nkwala no ombekasa etia wo. Even yire kraya yire no kraya no ontifie no. Se wo ye bema na wo feli se de asesa wo ye no wa anya maame no ebema wo ne kwan ama na kasa etia wo. Maame no ebema ne kwan ama ne de wani ma ye fom. Because eniema asesa wo papa na wo fie no eniema na asa wo a wo ye head na asa wo ye no wonye entity enti na youth abekasa etia won leaders di enti na nkwara abekasa etia won panimfo di enti na nkwara abekasa won panimfo anim matoama den na wo dwen se nkwala aba enti dia wo dwen ne se nkwala wo US nkwala wo UK nkwala wo France nkwala wo Ghana obi emu ade ana denti na ekoso sa denti na nkwara ekasa ama wano timi fom won panimfo wadwene ho sa wo de woni ma ne sa wo baba be condemn nkwala na wo mokasa sabi o ebia kasatia kakra bebam na denti na ekoso sa wadwene ho sa de wadwene ho sa nkwala na ekasatia won leaders no denti na wo yesa yasim ensio ta aponchirane a woje wo denti na dwamfo ma omonso kasatia won president media na minim sa nkwala e wo America media na minim sa nkwala e wo US media na minim sa nkwala e wo France media na minim sa nkwala o mo diaspora o matu kwan wana won kasatia won panimfo na adenti na enne nipa e wo Ghana mu e kasatia won panimfo wadwene ho sa esanse edru ba bia eniema ya mpanimfo bi implement eniema bi a wo ye no ahomete odwene ho a wote ase a enye yie ya hunu sa ya mfasa ntete yen kasa bi a yenua bi mu aka eniema bi a efisa yenua bi mu aye denti na wo ye sa denti na wadwene sa eniema na efisa wadwene no denti na wadwene sa esanse omu fi say the way ya ye mpanimfo especially Ghana mpanimfo the way ya omu treat ye no omu didi atem sana nkwala ne bi hunu wo hunu say ye mpanimfo no omu di yeso no omu didi atem wo hunu say omu didi atem wo hunu say aye kasatia wo hunu say aye atem didie mi bisa wo say denti na wo badwene say Ghana mpanimfo akwala bia maami bia wakasatia won aban bia maso a mahunu say ye kasatia ban de ye kasatia mpanimfo edru ba bia denti na basa esanse se paninu feli say obaya de a esese wo ya nkwala timi kasatia no na aban wo de amamuo wo ya ekwaso se siei ewo Ghana no enkofo bebre na kasatia wana wo abrochire kasatia wana wo Africa kasatia wana wo Ghana mu kasatia empanimfo na transia bisa won se why denti na ekwaso sa hwe odofo manya bland amma metna ho ankan sama wonim yampani no instead of some betra se no mbadwene no mbefa adwene se sabe tie da sebra ana wose ade yodo ma hene kan ne se atama nkwala ne bi di no mama me amfa atam no nko a montra se na mombisa me ho se denti na ekoso sa ya trase abisa ye ho sa na ya trase abisa ye ho se denti na nkwala ya kasa sa mama mo video bi nkyerɛw tie de adwamfo ma eka Ghana o
Akufo-Addo nkwada wagu MPP party no wagu MPP pa Akufo-Addo special wagu MPP party no fi say ya num sa akwakra we be atwa ntrosa nana nanka so your true for the true na betena so the okay nyina efa nana do ayi mama ho no oboa your true no the betena so na pani wo the true edi wanim kan ukudi wanim akopim ba aban because who chanto time na your friend say ye ko school ayetu akra ho kire ni won sa we wo say ye ntia won so a wo man kwala ni di wa che ni ayi nkati nkwan after the beti wa for 5 yilevi flehin busia wa gia 50 ya santo please so who to be fast habusa anya shi wo Ghana enkwala ko school so am breti oba kan ye ti jo kwa ye ntade ye bre ko ka cha Akufo-Addo say onja say no ni na mwem oni ba at no ya mpa ne bin ya mpa enye binti na ye botuma o simra from oye penny baby awadu frito a wo be wu ntem nanti from ni nkwakwa wo mu ani anu no
wa ye pe obi ani
Oba no petro ya na petro ya anya 14 cities o ka chere so ba obete so anya sa na o ka chere penny a utwa ntro se ye print that print na what's the meaning of this
I am
take go school
school free oh
my
ya school free na ya school free
ya sumanu utubi sha onyama usi uka chere nye udi yi level so be so aye opo you level ye edumfo ye ne be ku ya ma soja nye ku soja to be nye ku edumfo e be ku
mi bisa oba bi a wo se hwensama mayi kan hwensama emayi kan ene nsama manfo betena Facebook akan de ehena mu odu wankasa bisa ho hwensama emai eka wode o Ghana no mo hwensama wo mo ka yesi nsuo etai ponkyereni a oje wo hwensama wo mo ka but ye mpanimfo aye wadwen se wontie se wo feli se asasa wo ye de asasa wo ye asa papa se wo feli se de asasa wo ye asa leader ebie kwa me ye kasetia ebie kwa man nkrofo challenge you because we are akunta bi ana teacher ni wo classroom na wo kire de na ade na wo kire no nkwala na fee se ade na wo kire no emu na ho they begin to challenge you saade na me hunu wo sa abanye ewo so yi hu adenti na yampani mfontena se misa wo ho se denti na nkwala eye saade we denti na nkwala challenge yen denti na nkwala ni bi kasa omukasa edidi atem hwe mamenka asem bi nkyerɛw sa ya nhwe yi a obie ni ho obetena brochira na obetu kwan afri Ghana obeka nsem papa afa o my Ghana hoda sa enya politics ana ya enya yani na afri akata sa yenka nokora asofo nka nokora na ewo my Ghana mu adifo nka nokora na ewo my Ghana mu ahemfo bi nka nokora na ewo my Ghana mu because wosuro se wakasa wo de attack beba won so ba me pesa me kiro se woda ubewu utra kama ubewu udi banku a ubewu so it's better say ubeka nokra mom no wawu sin se ubetwa ntro no wawu tie de America ne yo wo ye den ubewu journalism adwuma na mo ye na modin kontompo ne ntrewu no mo bewu eya me yese unye legacy papa bia wo ho journalist and trona mudi na momfa nokre anka nokre no ama oman no anya ne fa hodie ama mman ma no enhunu de ekodo nyame betua mo kasa de mo nwumate mo asofo a mo wo man no mu a mo wo man Ghana mu a mo se ma hu nokre mo nka no aban bi ba de a mutumi ka nokre kire won Chama Lawrence ye twa no ye di na tam ye kansam kire Lawrence but sankofo na e kansam kire Lawrence no obinum te ase o makoma no atu o mampani mama betra so ye di na tam ye kansam aniama na ekoso wo Ghana no mama tam kota kra nkoso anso na de ekoso obi aka na no atum Christian Council ntumi nkasa, Catholic Bishop Conference ntumi nkasa, asofo ntumi nkasa, adifo ntumi nkasa, individuals ntumi nkasa. Na won de adwamfo aja ase. Enti my question is, denti na wo dwene se mmofra binom a omotete abrochire ani dwamfo ma ani binom challenge we de anya NDC fo. Anya NDC press conference bi ase o. Anya face the country press conference bi ase o. Anya CPP press conference bi ase o. Anya DPP press conference bi ase o. This is market. This is market. So what is going on in Ghana? Why are we afraid? Say yabeka nokre. Yabeka chira na minim Council of State. Wana watu abana fono. Adi wanyina ya politicians. My advice go to Obi Biara wapaso onya president. Sa yatu abama Obi Biara wapaso oya president na ubenya. Sa anko afo na omo wa party ma yo omo Council of State no. Yamfa omo nyina. Sa unye minister da Council of State kure nisi ya dema. As I see adema former ministers no omo ya Council of State. So Obi be ya Council of State and nisa ya de the party and be ya Council of State. Because when you know what's sure want to mean kind of correct. Me question me bisa ne say. Denti na wo badwene say enkwala ekasatia empanimfo. Obi kura bia onni ba bi kura odi ne tito. Obi kura wo ho a ebia ontumi handan enso no odidi ne mpanimfo atam. Denti na sasa basa because wonim say ade ampanimfo ya no adwene nyadan anim. Because on him say ade ampanimfo ya no akwala wanya 10 years kra wonye denti na ekosa enti mpanimfo na amanfo didi matam no matrase abisa mo ho say eye dan na mpanimfo no ye di atam sa matrase abisa mo ho say cabinet no matrase MPP, some MPs, and these MPs, leaders of the nation, matrase abisa mo ho say eye dan na omudi atam matrase abisa mo ho eye dan na nkofo edi atam sa yesi pania otena fie man kwalawe nanka no ye bua nankawefo a okaho bi denti ne yantumi nka nokre hwewo me se me hu MPP ampia ye sori ase Christopher wom uko MPP ampis no mu a Christopher wom otie nyansa sama meka kiro tie atia nyansa wa MPPs ampino ampis no because others womo asofo womo anso yi love ya ya passe akofa nsama bai won so obi aba abonte abekasa tie nyame betua wo mo kasa de obumate adan na mugu Kristosumani masesa ankramofo womo MPP ampis ankramofo wom nyame betua mo kasa de munwumate womo so omo ya traditionalists womo so mo nananom wom enso wahu yi la via ya hu sa anya no wahu sa obi abegina bonten a criticize a condemn adenti na mo yenya atwem sa hypocrites. The papa ba na wo beje. Hwa ma menka asam bi nkyerɛ wo. Sɛ woantwe yi a wo be wo. De wo ye no, wo ba wo manana. O me be call office bi e be bisa sɛ na wo papa ne hwan. Oso o me papa ne papa bi a wo be ye MP no me nana no. O se kwa wo bete ye nka. Ya vra wo ba ne bi o. Obi nso be ko ye be bisa sɛ wo papa no hwan. O se oh, me papa ne papa asomasi a no ɔte ha na osi ayi saa ayi we ma pressifo ne ade. O se oh, da bi trans mo letter ne ma no wo gu wadi mase. Me de esa me kan. Me se aban bia ba betra so na wo faili se wo asasa wo ka no kura kira aban no wo ntumi nka no kura nkire na wo se wo credibility. Me se nanado ento se won kwa wie no no wa senkofo bebre anya ne boni mu o ne yiye yomu se nana ya ade na enkoyi a adenti na yentumi nka nkire no se nana ade a wo ye enkoyi jayade a wo ye hwe yi la vi shasi o mo de ba ya Ghana fo se MPP fo bu Ghanaians a se wo respect Ghanaians a enka ade a o de ba ya o mako hu na ye free 2021 no adenti na eso o mo sa de ba bio wo bisa wo sa na o de ya wo se ye di mpanimfo atem ya wo se nkofo di mpanimfo atem wo bisa wo sa mpanimfo de mu nkwala no abere na nkwala na buo mpanimfo de mu nkofo mote man no mu no wo mu nkofo ekoto abama won wo mu nkofo ekosa lie to about vote for them. They don't respect them. How can they respect them back? The leaders, they decided not to respect the owners of the land. And go for a cosa lie, bit me cosa lie 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. A big great to be sorry, they don't respect them. What nonsense is going there? And the idea about Ghana for Obiakasa, Adentina with the choir, and Monquasa, they know 1.7 among Quasa, but my mother said, the Amupasa Muya Namuya, Muana who see power now, Muana who see to me, Mwakasa and Batragana Kunyasu. The Ayami Yana say, Sadia Quasuinano, Uko MPP man cramo for more, Uko MPP more. And Christopher for more, Uko MPP more, as well for more. Where are they? You are useless people. Nyabebe triamu kasare mu nyumatie. Muwa mumu fremu huwa Christopher wa muwa mamuonu munu. Adenti na mumma abonten ameka mwadwene. Na menkwate ya. Yese Ghana abai. Abe importo ready made adai di aba Ghana. Shame unto you. Shame. Minkwate matia sadi ya re-registration SIM card ya di ama contract awo Kenya ya wonkofo bebre. I'm not against Kenyans. Sabi ya di ama Kenya ni no, but let us ourselves say ye ni companies bebre awo Ghana, ye ni IT companies bebre awo Ghana ya ebetumi aboa sa ba we ka kire ya say wo mo ba amankofo anya adwuma wo mo ba mamrante ne maba wanya adwuma. Why say mpanimfo here sir? Why say mpanimfo tete yanim? Why say mpanimfo embuyen? Why say mpanimfo egu yanim asese de omuye? What you on my moi the whole Africa ye can go to Ghana better so be 2 or 3. The whole world Ghana better so be 5. Why? Ya bobusia anti ya dwene no anyadwuma abeda na nkwala ani atem. Abeda na nkwala ani mpanimfo na atem. Abeda na nkwala ankasanti mpanimfo. Ghana ya baby ya ufi ho na oba brochira so one take it time ubedidi mpanimfo nyina atem because you think that omun ni common sense. Ubedidi mpanimfo nyina atem. Including a software push up or be up, yadwuma. because niema ya no dwene ho a akwala kro wo be 10 years kra wonye hwe so yes ye kogu banks na ye kogu no me fansa se ye 10 million na de be ye ni ya ye de ka be 20 million kogu nyansani ho na be ye sa ade no adaya ye kwa free why Guyana dia bai enti Ghana mrantia ne mabawa awia adenti ne yankofa expert mfiri omo machira Ghanaians ye dwene aye adwuma enti enkwala no omu ni atam da bia. My question is adenti na nkwala edi mpanimfo atem what else adwene ho sa onua what say adwene ho abisa ho say die enti na nkwala ekasa tie mpanimfo ade aye nyansa be na wom hwe Ghana fo mpanimfo sika omo se no ufri Africa na obedi obrechira so wo sika wo so uni sika wo ubedidi ubeda obi ani wa wakasa abrochire ebia sabi o ahochire ni ha obi ani wa wakasa abrochire nkofo entra street him obi ani wa wakasa but is a wo hwere normal of ye kuroma obi wo sika obeso odi obi ayakoa the bana trase adwene se enkwala kra no wo hwe South Africa ha ya South Africa eya Africa no wo kra no wa nya kuna na ye boawo the bana trase se hwe tambia to wrenchamba oh dey say ato the Ghana bana trase se ye places bi ye ya baby na sa to wrenchamba ye de nkofo akọ ebi wo ho sa asa ye nwene se panini wo feli se wo badwena akwala be kanyansa se ma kire wo ye problem a ye de te Ghana no eno no ye problem a ye de wo Ghana man mu no because empanimfo feli se obadwene ene awie me wo menu apani bi wo ha e wo menu ya bi wo ha me wo menu ya bi wo ha Mr. Tom me be frɛ no ama na kyerɛ na dwen nti no me be frɛ Mr. Tom ama na kyerɛ na dwen waka ensem bi wo ho ono nso wo na dwene a memfa no sɛ o be kyerɛ eti e be frɛ no Mr. Tom no ono nso de na dwene aba. Hello Bra Johnson who program no so live me say tie me dentina ye Ghana panini ane nkwala se kura de dwemfo na ekasa mo dentina wo dwen se akwala betimi akasa atia panini dentina akwala ye fi se ya mamre mu no nkade ehunu se akwala nkasa ntia panini akwala entumi challenge pani dentina akwala timi kasa pani nanim na amamuo ya ekoso yi
amamuo ekoso
e ba so wote da meka ni yi
mete
me say ya mamre mu no akwala timi nkasa ntia pani akwala ntumi nkasa en challenge pani patenne obia so camera no kasa tia mpanimfo ene ya number 1 se yanhwe de adwamfo ye dwamfo nsam o mo kan dwamfo no mo nya NDC fo ana MPP fo o mo ye Ghana fo ubehwe na wei kasa denti na ekoso sa
amamuo boni a akufo ado ebu omo se nkwala ne mu mpanimfo Pirana can say Mamma Mofrana Pan, we must say, Strahan here, Ayo Modia. Strahan in a year, Strahan in a fan, and I mean, fancy in baby or Enti Yanko Ponoso, on an above we are singing, Auntie, I hear the piano eating as assessor. It is open, you know, you are giving a singing saying in Napra country. Eh, no, ma. What I say, African as I never fan a wake up. But you look, Akra, ne papaya, diving an angel one, or come back to Channel. What I say, Enti or Pesa or Munjane, at 10 D. Now, or Mon Cancer, Papa and Chilena. Oh, Yenia, eh, if you so be anyhow, I had papa. Yebeka asemboni etiano. Mahama oh you know yen yama papa but still na man focus etiano. Say what you say. Oh yen yama mahama yo ya kuado ba ya we jama na ke wule. Ya edi abagana. We ti u hwe we ma. Amon wo papa. Na sa akra ko hu sa de we na ko sa asem we na yama nko yiem na odi atema. Wo se ma chi watu. Mahama atema mudi no o te se mahama ekura kra mahama ti bida. So yes for the being when you know jam process say we kasana wo kwetire we kasana wo kwetire no so nti ya man wo bana e na man kra na kasa enti we nya ndc MPP asem because man mu yade na enim ndc ni MP otopotire na me koforo ka ye misam se me ndc ni ana me MPP what you say enti na man wo bana ya wo bu no e na ho asem ye ka se se ya ni pa mo kasa nya ndc fo ngo na e kasa wo MPP fo kra na e kasa kese what you say o ko ye one district one factory Oba and give up ground to see Krubis say we won't find why one factory nasa. What if you for me come be factory? Say, no one is also a bit of your cook. Mana was done there by now. I'm for us to your
Mammy Missa was a markum. Me problem, they say, Yansha, number 1 PP for so Yansha MPP party. Yansha MPs in a woman. MPs 137. And Cramofo wom, a Christopher wom. Sa ye levy ya, Maya sorry, our mocha wants me. Ye levy no 2021 ye can't want them. I'm a parliamentarians and and yet I'm a Ghana for baby I call my dream. And the MPs back up a granny MPP more. And now Oba sorry bassa Oba Canadian. Almost in as almost run your meal. Then I will get a home.
Omoya hypocrite. Omoya anybody omoya nyatwen for. San say omunim papa no but omonka. Just omo aba na wo so say NDC that is one go mbe so rakasa. Then the sade ya mo de be say ekori. Mini aba ko ha okọ Ghana na nsen. Enti me no kasa wi nka be kra na me na ye frɛ. E na ye frɛ ya san na uku program so na wo yi. Enti me ye pe me do be ma na fi ono wakasa. Ye kra no he kra ye wo na ye ho kire ye prepare kra gya balende. Nti kra me ne di ho nkomo sisi ya. Enti wie program ya ye be ka ho asem. San se man mari nyina ye dwane apoden fo na ye wo ma ye be so man no. Ti se wasan de ka ba be to your system is ndem ma me ka pra. Well, oh sana ba be tax. Enti me ne afiriga. Okọ Ghana na nse wa fian ba ti ogira mente ha. Enti se ye le bi na se MPP fo mpanin fo no so omo no. Omo so wa no. Omo nkasa ntia se ne ayi Mahama te so na omo kasa tia no. Omo so nkasa ntia. O je se sense ne yakufo ado ye no obia etimi ne o ha Africa na ba e ne fa na ayira ba se wiki ni etimi ko hunu wa kakara pesa me de man na fi ono so
Mama ne nkasa baba mba cho ma ha
good evening daddy night say
nyame adom na mba cho ya fro say
your friend
Abdul akwaba wo Brand Eye TV so ya se wo ko Ghana na say then na wo ko hu ye wo experience ni say
yeah is a Ghana na master Ghana na koyi for my na e basta o my no dey obi a confuse root no especially we still use now almost all so we use to man the brina ebe na we no na anrobe en kofa o my no koyi penifo no e afia no mo ha ba say edu level say na enja in the same na emboy
na Abdul me answer na wo be ko no enkwala wo mo ka wo mo adwene mpanimfo fi se tie me nkwala wo mo ka wo mo adwene a mpanimfo fi se wo mo kasa tie wo mo didi wo matem no den na wo ka wo saasem no
Openina Sabio, so Penina, we are there, all from stars, Sakurat Mitno. Apparat me catch stay home. Opening the away and fata, and no question. Then you put on for a pesa, or say and count of bread. So when you not why are there, but there is a book of Muka or Malvin Chiro. Say, big Tamos, the Tamos, the way presence, the way home, minister now, and yet why are there, fata, now for a catch of the pig, the way the guest or what's on now, yes, and Adam will mind of purpose. I mean, say, some Onjidi what the rest of our more disrespected. I don't know catch you.
Ba yeah yeah yempan for kyerɛ sɛ ayi
You see,
wo kasa n'anim a wo kasa atia no
Charlie, more mining MPP this time in your mining. Wallahi, they are bread, looking bread. Mubarak, she post normal. Me buy the last week, I buy.
saa okay mɛfrɛ na me ne wadi nkɔmmɔ wa nyame nka ho paa kɔsoa na tie program no why yo yenua no nso Abdul n'adwen no ɔso ɔkɔ Ghana na nsɛn na nneɛma ɔkɔhu yɛ no ɛnyɛ easy wote aseɛ n'adwen ne sɛ pani wote fie na sɛ pani wanyɛ wammɔbra pa ana wanyɛ ade pa nkɔla bɛkasa tia ye wo ya bra tom wo dwumadie so ya bra tom be kire na dwen bra tom akwaba wo dwumadie so akwaba bra tom me bisa wasam bio na me de ade bi ato ho se adenti na ye fi se empanifo no nkwala ne kasa tia won enya Ghana nko a ba bia nkwala ne kasa wo manim na even Ghana kra no obi e kasa kire wadwen
me go to my kade in penifo na was there abofra na mamotu makanye there a lot of the things are here in penifo over one thing sometimes one here now for me I have two reasons for that. And when Nkrumah came to Ghana there were young people who wanted something new. Nkrumah was a visionary. He had the right answers. Unfortunately, people persuaded Nkrofo to hate Nkrumah. Now, one day, one day, Nanko, no Nkrumah Valley. I don't know Papa Nkrumah ni shoes, not Teropedoshe, the Valley. Or Nkrumah, he will tell you how the Matimu really began. It wasn't even about politics. It was about something else with the Catholic Church. If I can remember actually, now at least then down so was once through. But it goes back. But before I can change there, sometimes the youth have to be a bit patient. They have to be quiet. They have to say things. They have to also bring ideas. And they have to also make sure the ideas are the people can carry it. Because it's not as simple as meeting away. A lot of the ideas I thought today I could have done. I've tried most of them, it failed. Inti obiso abasha maruba. He come to us maruba, but no so about and let's face facts. 40 years ago, June 4th, young officers they took power. They thought they could change the country. The very same young officers now, 40 years ago, no. The same children now, own them chrome, kill a junior Jesus, let the blood flow. No, they are the people sitting on it today, and they are the one who have failed. Inti, the question is not just criticism or insult. 40 years ago, we killed 8 generals because he said you're corrupt, we're this. What one MP steals from government today, even what MMC steals from government corruption today, is more than the 8 generals, if you investigate all put together. Inti, ask yourself, for 40 years, they be insult, they be yepedem. But why is it that after 40 years, we still have those people who were shouting in power today? And they are the ones who are now facing the same problem this generation, what is This is a different take. And the reason being is that in we are selfish. When you maybe politics in the bar, papa no, as I know, Ono nyanso time no be ya papa no odi chesi mesiafo ana odi wiesika. And him culture no so is safe there. Oh, okay ministry she went to mo incident po. She minister po she na ka. Ye minister na afaka papa mpo abesi abehye wa roba. Ye managing director na afaka abesi abehye wa roba. Ye managing director ne hu besi a expect you there eja other munsika. Na wa kotua ya hin na ebotum za menyipa no. Some of the criticism are very fair, but let's also be very careful. The same people were shouting 40 years time, no, when they're in power, what can they do to make the world different? 40 years ago, no, the world was different. They thought those in power were not good enough. Yes, there was indiscipline. There were so many things you needed to be correction. It's not a problem. I'm not against it. But those same people are in power today. Though anybody over the age of 60, 70 was the people who were doing the revolution. What have they achieved for Ghana all those years? That able to measure Ghana there, Ghana continue against other countries. You see, it is not about
maybe Zawa Samba Kun. Edino, ne crack no. Won't say. Mpanimfoɔ no nso no ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo tena ase na ɔmo bisa ɔmo ho sɛ identity o maya yɛ saa ɔmo kasa wei nya NDC foɔ na ayɛ press conference nya MPP foɔ nya PDP na party bia na ayɛ press conference ɔmo yɛ market women ɛna yɛ kɔ bisa ɔmo.
Market women were complaining 40 years ago before the revolution. Market women were so you knew what two more Johnson or back at 2 or 2 Johnson go so you. We've been there. Buzia was in power. Market woman went to try Banchi. Now was a Buzia Nano Cassini on 2 years.
Na Argentina, yen some penny for no young Tanasi Messiah who said, Denti, Sanam person.
The key point is simple. One of the key points is that we are leaderless. As a community and as a race, we are properly leaderless. We are swinging from one place to the next. And we haven't got anybody of the critical mass intelligence or critical mass proficiency. I use the word, not intelligence, proficiency, to be able to hold the country and guide it the way Nkrumah was guiding it. What the NDC is in power, MPP is in power, the schooling they've had, the incapacity, the cultural pressures they have, the incapacity to think deep, and all of this is affecting them. So when they go and sit in that big office, all they think about is money for their pocket, and even if you are too honest, the rest can finish you. It depends on whichever party you are. The young people complaining today, when they get the power, they will abuse the power they say. Because the young people of those who killed the generals in the 40s, what did they do in the 1979-81? What have they done? They've been the one in the power since then. What did they achieve? If they could have achieved anything, why are we insulting our elders today? Yes, in Nukwar, the mode of operation and the mode that they've taken the country in terms of economic progress is not the right way. But I don't believe NDC or MPP have the capacity to think the right way or do the right thing. If you want to do the right thing, then you might prepare to pay with your life. No president that will sit on the throne for 8 years.
Mami Misao.
Please listen to me. No president who sits on the throne for 8 years and can come back for re-election and nobody will touch him. It's got interest of Ghana at heart. Good ones, the good ones will die. The good ones will pay with their life, like Magufuli did. Like the man that some of those other people have done. The good ones will do the right thing, but people baton one for doing the right thing, they'll get rid of them. Anybody who is a popular is wasting our time. If I hear before, we don't want the truth. You know, back no quar. Asama ache he na asama ye pede ye tey no oye hende no anu ne ye gina do. Onye no quar na ha before no ye pe. Inti ha no ye pe no quar. Inti ho ko tan won so bo twa no quar hye won. Says ya no when they're doing primaries, MPP. Says ya no worry ya primaries. Ahwe sikan MPP for NDC for appointees, what chairman go to vote for them? People na sika no kenye fi.
Okay,
I
me
won't
pese
let
me
you
na
make
pese
it.
me de asem bi me ade asem bi na me de asem bi
Okay,
kan
go ahead.
hwe dwamfuo yi
Go ahead.
nsɛm a ɔmo kan yɛ woka we wi ana afei yakɔ yɛ nɛsɛ yi so ne yɛ pɔn so wɔbɛkɔ baabi na
But the key point is that we don't have any strategy of development.
ɛna me ka sɛ hwɛ wɔn sɛ wokɔ MPP mu a yi levy a yɛ pass a ho nsɛm akɔyɛ we yɛ start ne 2021 yɛ de abɛwura 2022 asɔfoɔ wɔ MPP mu elders wɔ MPP mu nkramofoɔ wɔ MPP mu yɛn nso yɛnim sɛ saa nkɔfoɔ wɔbɛtumi aka nokorɛ not a single pastor or elder a wɔba abɔnten bɛ criticize sɛ saa deɛ wei ɛnyɛ.
My brother, there was a time in Ghana. Say Besia na Mbobre na it is couple with here. Whom I may be so there. I how Ninyasike.
I know.
I mean, those days I was a small child. I'm sure there was a K.
Yeah, I mean,
whom I may be so there. If an Ninyasike says Yano by any means necessary is what is called Ghana. Inti, because we've got the wrong strategy to develop the nation, you know. What wants that country, baby, until they cannot develop the nation and they need money also to pay people. Until what do? They will bring anything they want because that is the only thing they know. Because of the wrong decisions they've taken in the past of not doing the right thing, you know, now their back is to the wall. Yeah, I only heard recently that they're going to reduce the 3% the government get as for guarantee for the young boys 3% now what you for gold prices no what's that now no they will go to reduce the 3% to 1.5. Our resources of gold already you get 10%. Dubai is Dubai because they get 50-60%. The government gets 50-60% of the world prices. That's what they can use to develop the nation. Ghana in your 3 to 5%, 3% so what's all then they're going to tax people for transferring money. It's a lazy man's way to evolution. What he's saying is that we have incapable people in government and in opposition. The leadership, the continent is problematic. And we will keep complaining because even if the young people here goes in the press, are they prepared to pay the price to correct what is necessary in the nation? Take Magufuli. That's what I told you. Take Magufuli. When he first came to power, he went to every single government department and said to me, bring your certificate. Half of the people resign. Ghana, the same people are there. They are ghost employees. Who is strong enough to government minister to go and stand there? The chiefs, the people go and bribe their chiefs. The chiefs will come and say, those young people shouting, they benefited from the same corruption before they even go to overseas. And some of this corruption, I want even want to come to work overseas. Their hands are sold in it. What is honesty? American play. We have to go back to fundamentals and basis. The whole system is corrupt. We have to accept that we are corrupt, therefore we want to change before we can change. And let's understand that. Even if you do something wrong, prepare to face the consequences. Do the right thing. Let's go to basic honesty, because that is what is required in the system. From bottom up, everybody is doing it. Therefore, how can anything be correct?
Yo, Bratom, say me pese e ka sa ade we mi hu ade bi me na Facebook kwa na me hu ade bi no akra me ka ho asem. Me na Facebook kwa na me hu say Guyana for be surprise adan already made houses 120 e de akọ Ghana. Omo timbers ni bibia omo akoye dan na ye hihye ni bi. Ana me bi sa me ho say if say Guyana akoye sa ade no wo Ghana den ni ye ni. Ye wo nipa wo ho ye wo bibia wo adentina yam
But America now come back to the point I'm saying. Because we don't plan one. Why it is called Ghana don't show them one. Once that character is there, no, you cannot create anything that is constructive and anything that is profitable. So I was talking to an Indian man, and I know him, and he calls a vegetable place. They had people who were farming in Ghana. And they said they tell the people water the plant at 3 o'clock. The person will say, They won't do the job because they are not there to tell them to do it at 3 o'clock. They won't do the job. When you come back to them, they tell you, we thought it was going to rain. And because they didn't do the watering at 3 o'clock, the plants couldn't grow. So they moved the whole thing to Kenya. Now, people cannot get a job. Why? Because we are not disciplined. We don't teach discipline in schools. We don't teach people. The whole thing is corrupt. You see, I don't think you understand the capacity of the problem. You can shout from bottom to top unless you deal with the causes of the problem. You cannot understand it. Why?
So we are all dealing with the source, not cause.
Yes, we're dealing with the effect, not the cause, not the source of the problem. We're dealing with the effect. Effect in there, you haven't thought very well. So therefore, the government needs money. So you do. So you need someone. It doesn't solve it. We got to find the source of the problems and say to ourselves, listen. 1, we need to be honest with each other. First thing. 2, when you promise to do something, negotiate well, and before you do anything, or don't do it. In Jobika, they made me, not to cheat. Catch them, Pacho. I can't even do on this. This is not right. If you come to this country, this country had the same problem. People don't understand British history. All these people are shout to 100 years ago. America and Britain were the same as this. What is going on in Ghana 100 years ago, up until 1930s, children were leaving school at 12, 13. They were cleaning chimneys. They couldn't even go to school. Free education only came back around 1945 after the Second World War. So when all these people shout, let them go and read history and understand the discipline needed to build nations, and it means suffering. I come back to you again, Magufuli. He went back to hospitals and decided what is going on with here. This Atamil started this with the customs when certain things were done. That is what was required. Magufuli followed Atamil. Since Atamil's left, all those who come, have they done any of these things? No. So what is going to make any of them going to be different? Unless we deal with the source of the problem, we are wasting our time. Therefore, if I want to go and build a factory in Ghana, I don't want to do it because why should I invest in Ghana? Therefore, I cannot create jobs. But the same controls are good in Brazil. I'll give you an example. In Japan, yes, I don't like it most of the time, but some of the times it's upset. Eslowusu, that funny woman from MPP, I don't know what's wrong with her. But Nukun has got eye surgery in Ghana. He doesn't employ Ghanaians. He employs Koreans in Ghana because they are more honest than Ghanaians. If he pays the Ghanaians the same amount of money he's paying the Koreans, the Ghanaians will still not work to deliver the result. So if you have people like that, how can you help them? They can't help themselves. In Ethiopia, everybody is a thief and everybody we are. And that is what we are. And until we begin to understand things from this perspective and decide to correct it. Because in Singapore, they corrected it. In America, they corrected it. In Britain, they corrected it. In France, they corrected it. There have been revolutions, 1917, 1945, all those millions of people killed. In China, Mao, you think that those things they achieve it by you know how many people have died in the course of achieving those things? How many blood has been poured?
So what is your message for the Ghanaian leaders and the youth?
Ghanaian leaders and the youth is both honesty. First, bring honesty and truth. Wow, maybe I want to get you. What's there? And he says, if we can understand truth in our nation, truth, that is the only thing we need in Ghana. Let's bring truth. And let's change that stupid constitution now. What's the one now? MPP doesn't want to change it, and NDC want to change it because everybody said they know how to steal from it. It's a thief's charter. They'll go and steal from it. And when they steal from it, they're benefiting people. Some of these people shouting, and they go to America. No, they use some of these the beneficiaries of those who benefited from this to even get a ticket to go to America. For me, what is going is good. They've seen problems and they are expressing their anger that the problem cannot be solved. But the problem cannot be solved as simple as they think. Because there are international pressures. Look at what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. The same thing happened with Nkrumah. He wanted to do something different. Somebody came and told him, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. some of our presidents are on the same, leaders are on the same pressure. And they don't want to lose their life to do the right thing. That is why I keep telling you. Any leader who come and sit down and finish his office and come and sit there and enjoy his pension, then he didn't help the country. Good leader in Africa, they die in office, or soon after they leave office, they don't live that long. That is one thing I want people to understand. If you want to serve your nation and serve black people, you have to come and take jobs from London, jobs from America. You have to create the industry to take jobs from different people. And unless you're prepared to do that, you are wasting your time.
So what is your final message to Ghanaians?
My message to Ghanaians is very simple. Let's bring truth to the way we do things. Let us also be mindful of taking bribes from people and also giving bribes to people. And then start calling out people who don't come. Because as I told you before, and if you know the shrines, those even guarding the shrines are corrupt. Even those guiding the churches, as you just mentioned, are corrupt. Those guiding our religious institutions are corrupt. The politicians are corrupt. The judges are corrupt. The intelligentsia is corrupt. You got to know somebody before you can even go to university. If you don't know somebody, it won't do, and then it'll pass you around everywhere. But this seems to happen in Nigeria, not Ghana. But now it's happening in Ghana. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that was the sort of thing that's happening in Nigeria. So what are we even bringing our women up to do? What are we even bringing the children of the world, of the future, to come and do? We have to start restoring the truth in our daily lives.
I know that changes can only come through leaders. Because if you do something wrong and the leaders, up to leaders to come and correct acts.
This man sitting on it is a total disappointment.
So I need you to give a specific message for the executives.
He is the worst leader in Ghana's history for doing anything about corruption, anything about guiding people. All the thing I just know one and then that's no problem. But I don't see the benefit of even this guidance I'm talking about is what I want to see. The traditional leaders, whether he told me Afede, whether he was friend of Ochimhine, whether you are Santihini, whether you are Fantihini, Bolga Hini, Salagos, Boko Hini, whatever the Gachi Hini, it doesn't matter.
But Brother Tom, listen to me. Recently, Doma Hine started to caution the president. He started to maybe ask some cautions. And people are insulting him. Both left and right. They are insulting him.
And my answer to Doma Hine is that he's doing the right thing. And I'm making sure that to do the right thing in Ghana, they won't like you. That's the first thing. So anybody who is popular now, they don't like you. Right? And sometimes taking the right decisions also becomes very unpopular. But my disagreement with this current government is that they're taking the lazy man's way out. The same thing they accuse Mahama of doing is the same thing they are doing themselves. They have not building. I mean, has anybody sat down in Ghana and said, for the next 20 years, we're going to create 1 million
Tom, the ambassador mechanism say, Mama, do you busy na the echo to you or you busy current administration?
This is very important. Has anybody sat down, any leader in Ghana, NPP, NDC, and said, I need to create, and I said this to A+, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2019, before the election, I said to him, what we need in Ghana for somebody to sit down and say, I'm going to create 1 million jobs every 4 years. That is sustainable. Tell me any leader who can sit down and start thinking seriously about that is the one who have answer to Ghana's problems. Because you see, to be able to do that, you have to first restore some balance and truth in the system. 2, you have to make sure that people understand that they're going to have to work to get a living. You won't say Ghana, we don't do anything. Civil service, they go and sit there. Some people draw their pay, they don't even, they just go in, clock in and clock out. So all of those things need to change. But The key principle to me is somebody should sit down and say, I want to create 1 million jobs every 4 years. How am I going to do it? And what do I need to do that job, do that thing? And if I can deliver data, I need to change so many things in the country to make that happen. And that is our savior.
Bratom, the ambassador make it 2 hours to me soon say. So compare Mama administration with Nana administration. Mama ye better, far better than Nana near my ekoshi.
My brother, okay, me my culture. Me when I'm my I used to work so hard that my white bosses used to tell me that they haven't seen anybody who works as hard as me, not Bibini, not Bruni, not Chinese, not Indian, not anybody. Listen to me. Every job I've had in this country, after the last 10 years now, from the age of 25, 26 to at the age of, almost 30 years, every one for 5, 6, 8 years, if you are, they employ 2 or 3 people to do the same job that I was doing. At the same level, not Indian level, at the same level, even paid more. They are white people. So my answer to this is not about who is better and who is worse. My advice is, I want to see a Singapore. I want to see a United States. I want to see a Germany. Nobody who can deliver that get lost out of the way. I don't want to know who is bottom of class, who is class, who got F and who got E.
So, ya sorry programs, o run up the same.
My run up is I want to see a leader who can say, this is my policy for the next election, the next 4 years, I'm going to create 1 million jobs. And this I've got a plan to create. It doesn't have to tell the opposition, but I've got a credible plan to create a 1 million credible jobs on top of the jobs people are doing today. And once he's able to clarify that and deal with that, we'll be able to solve a lot of the alien problems within our country. Corruption. There are 12 billion said by the Auditor General that is being taken by corruption. If you take that money to create our jobs, you've got to stop people from doing that corruption. And if you can take that from corruption, look how much money you can invest. And if you invest that money into roads that works, that is done properly, not overpriced. If you can then create reservoir for people, water for people to drink. If you create people who go to university, they'll be able to do certain things. They'll be able to be water engineers, road engineers, all sort of things. Because you create environment. That's what we have here. You create environment where everybody is honest to some extent. They get their job, they get their pay, but the money is circulated around everybody, not somebody picking it in his pocket, putting it in and transferring the money overseas to buy a house in London or Germany or Switzerland. And every MP, most of the MPs have got houses overseas. Every minister probably who's ever been in government since has got a house overseas. Why? So my answer to all this is that now somebody should sit down and say, how do I create 1 million jobs? And if you're talking about 1 million jobs, you create a condition that is necessary to use the Ghana timber, to do what you are doing. Yes, we don't have money, but let's get the right attitude first, the right environment first, the right attitude, the right conscience of ourselves first. And once we've done that, the money will flow in. At the moment, people can't go. At the moment, if I had 10 million pounds, I won't go to Ghana and invest a penny because I'm convinced totally. I've tried different tribes, so I can't blame any tribe. I've tried different people. I've even tried the people in the shrine, trying to talk to them. And also, all of them want to chop your money and go away. That is the mentality. And if that is the case, why would anybody want to invest in Ghana? Somebody come to me and said, I've got $10 million, $1 billion. I want to invest in Ghana. I said, keep your money. Go and find some women go and find some cerebronians to keep you happy. At least you know to God that you've enjoyed yourself. Because I cannot. Because I cannot.
Hey, Bratom, where there, one can ye? One can ye?
So that, tongue in cheek. It's tongue in cheek. What I want to do to tell you the seriousness of the problem we have is that we have to restore the truth to the country. That is why I use that expression, Opaucho. Don't get me wrong. Just for people to see that there's some discipline. You president, it's not, yes, for a side check, but you have to be careful. You don't behave as if, nothing matters. you know, it's that. I mean, Oforiatta can come give a conference and say the Ghana system is such a way that you have to have side chicks apart from your wives. What sort of fucking nonsense is that? Oh, and we everybody laughs. NPP, NBC, everybody will laugh because that is what we are, and that is part of our problem, the indiscipline. So we need people who are disciplined, who will restore the essence of truth to our environment and conscientiously work to improve the system for the next generation. Because in Chroma Highway, Namikacho was whisking Nababa. It's not trying to pass a law through parliament that Wunanampo may not become British. They can soon know or to you or Ghana for holiday. I'm sorry, you're not British. You go and take back your Ghana passport, even though one will have to school or Uncle Canada or for holiday. Because our brother, that is what they want to do. And that is what they're going to do. Because they plan, then they went with there, such a young crop. It's not being crofty or the way so or PE. We have to find a way to restrict them because otherwise, they put some mechanism in place to effect it. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You're not thinking ahead. What you don't do today, your children will suffer to do tomorrow. Your children, what you are not able to do today, your children will suffer to do today. So suffer for your children today is my message to Ghana leaders and to Ghana people. And those young boys now were shouting. Yes, I have no problem with them shouting. Let them also try to find ways and try to encourage those also in Ghana to be honest in their dealings, not just the elders, also to the ones at the bottom. That's what I say. The whole process needs to be changed and renewed. I love their courage. What I know, because I know the danger. And I've worked, even in this country, I've worked enough to know the danger people face when they do certain things, even in America, in this country. The danger people face. So, my brother, we are saying, you know, they are the people who are dying, when we say they are dying for their country, those boys are what I would say they are dying for their country because the fearlessness they are doing, they are putting their life not at risk from now to the next 10 years. Even the next 20 years, people can come after them. But my advice for them, they're wondering because even in the next 20 years, your life can be in danger when you least expect.
Nyame one wa futupa wo de amaye wie nyame nka ho pa brato achi ebefo na wa be chreche ni mam atiafo ya da nyame ase Brand TV sunye se na ye bisa se denti na nempanimfo fi se enkwala na kasa wonim because ya mamre kire se akwala de okasa pani anim ansem bi o ha ontumi nka ba na enkwala na aba no yetumi kan nsem bi kire ye mpanimfo de entia esanse du ba bi mpanimfo no faili se nema bi wo ho mbeye na nkwala na ede yewdie aba wo mu enti na otumi kasa sa nyame nhira obi biara otie Brand TV ni odifo opamago ne abratom ne amamfo a omo kire o madwene nyame nhira obi biara nyame mfa ne nsanka obi biara nyame mo obi biara ho ban nyame mfa obi biara komaso abisade emma no Brand TV suni mesra wo share na subscribe na nkwachiri ne yampanimfo no so enye dai entie